Born and bred in Kilkenny and a school teacher by profession, he has led his county to 7 All-Ireland hurling titles. 7. And this year he made it 4 in a row. Have a look at this.
Now it comes here to Henry Shefflin. Shefflin hitting it and Shefflin putting it over. The rebel treble has been foiled by a magnificent Kilkenny performance. Getting it away up towards Henry Shefflin. They're in another dangerous situation. Henry passes it to the back of the net. And there's another goal. And Kilkenny have retained their crown. They have won their 30th All-Ireland. There's another one coming. It's on Larkin. No mistake. It's 3 in a row. Well, who's to say it won't be 4 in a row in 12 months' time? They need it. It's in the back of the net. Back comes Owen Larkin. 1 point so far. In for Cowerford. It's in the back of the net. 2 in a row. All of Kilkenny celebrating 4 in a row.
Please welcome Brian Cody, ladies and gentlemen. How are you?
Very well, thanks.
Did you get over that big win there recently? Is all the excitement behind you now, or are you still celebrating?
Well, celebrations are over really, because the players go back a few weeks later to their clubs and important club matches go ahead then, but the feeling is still good. You know, the sense of satisfaction is there and will be there for a while.
What I want to ask is about the idea of the in a row, the 4 in a row, whatever about winning 7 in 10 years or whatever. The 4, does that matter to you, the success of, does it give you an extra spur on then on the day?
You know, it's something that's spoken a lot about in the build-up to the game and that, in the media especially. But for the players themselves, being in the All-Ireland final is a huge thing. And it's a very, very special place to be. It's where everybody aspires to be every year. To be playing on that day and then to win it is terrific. And you don't really need any other motivation than just winning it on any given day. But at the end of the day, when it's done and dusted, and when it is won, it is a hell of a good feeling.
It's a bit sweeter, maybe, is it?
It's very, very sweet, Ryan, definitely. Yeah.
And do you think you'll be there for the 5 in a row now? That's the obvious question.
I just don't know. I haven't, at this time of year, I just relax and take it easy and enjoy whatever has happened. And I'll be making my mind up over the next 3 or 4 weeks.
Will you? How close are you to a decision?
To be honest, I haven't really thought about it. You know, I've been kind of busy.
Why don't you decide now first and tell us what you think?
You'll be the first to know anyway, Ryan, for sure. You know?
Why don't I believe you on that one? But do you think about it out going for a walk, or how do you come to a decision like that?
No, I'm not thinking about it at all.
Are you not? It's not on the agenda.
It's a decision that will sort of it will dawn on me someday. And look, up to now, I've always done it the same way, and it's happened easy enough for me. And to be honest, up to now, it has not been difficult to keep doing what I have been doing. Yeah. And as for regards for the coming year, I just wait and see what happens as well.
There's a sense that Kilkenny, as a team, as a phenomenon even, is an unstoppable force of nature. And you've just given me a look there that I don't know what it was, but it says, are you kidding me or something? But you can understand why people say that, can't you, with all that?
Look, it's been a great time for Kilkenny, most certainly. This decade has been huge for us, and sport goes like that. You know, you get a run of things and you make the best of what you can at the time. But it's a cyclical thing, you know, and you get your opportunity and, you know, it goes and somebody else takes it on then. I mean, a few years ago, people were saying that it wasn't going to be a great time for Kilkenny after, we'll say, 2005 and that, and people would have said that Cork were going to dominate things for the next few years, and they had a phenomenal team. Yeah. You know, we got in there and like I said, we have certainly made the best of the opportunity that has come for us. But, I mean, look at the All-Ireland final. It was just a massive game. We won, just barely won. League final this year again with Tipperary. We won well last year. But, I mean, Waterford came back this year, semi-final again, and we barely beat them again. So I always feel there's about, 5, 6, 7 perhaps teams at the top of hurling. And on any given day, any of us can beat the other team. And thanks be to God, we've got it right on the big games in the last few years.
By day, in the normal world, if you like, you're a school teacher and recently made principal of St. Patrick's de la Salle. Congratulations on that.
Very much.
It's a primary school.
That's right.
If I was an 8-year-old sitting in the front row of his classroom in St. Patrick's de la Salle and you walked in, I would be very, very nervous. You would even looking at me now, and I'm 36, I'm very, very nervous. Should people be nervous? Like, should kids be nervous? What do you like in the classroom?
Can you imagine how I feel sitting here with you tonight, Ryan? You know,
I'd say you feel very comfortable, actually.
Quite comfortable, actually.
You've nothing to be afraid of.
Not at all, and I mean, no more than the fellas who I deal with in the hurling sense feel the remotest nervousness about being before me. Certainly the kids in the school, we have a good time. I like teaching. Teaching is obviously a profession that if you don't like it or if you're not suited to it, you don't stay in it. And I've been there for quite a while now.
Is there crossover between teacher and manager?
I think so, yeah. I mean, it depends on the individual, obviously, but I would find certainly that a lot of the principles that you would apply, I mean, like I said, the principles I would apply always for management are respect and honesty and spirit, as is well mentioned in the book and that.
Yes.
And I mean, those same qualities are very, very part and parcel of our school as well, obviously.
I want to ask you about the half-time in Croke Park on All-Ireland Day, really. And you've about, 80,000 people sitting outside there eating their crisps and Coke or whatever, getting ready for the second half. And you walk into the lads, and let's say they're 2 points behind a team they should be at least a goal and 3 points ahead of. Now, do you go in there and do an Al Pacino on them and start screaming, or do you have a more Zen-like approach? What's your take on the locker room at half-time?
It's probably neither Zen nor Al Pacino, really, to be honest.
What is it then?
It's something that you kind of judge on the day. I mean, to be honest about it, I would feel about my job, management, and that the work has to be done way before you ever get to match day. And very, very much the players themselves are centre stage on that day. And, you know, they take it over. They take ownership of the thing, and the leadership is there. And to be honest, I mean, their genuineness and their honesty has been very, very strong for quite a while now. And it's always there. And I mean, if I ever felt that was lacking, I would certainly get in there and I would attempt to sort that out. But thanks be to God, I mean, the players I'm dealing with are top-class players, not just from a skill point of view, but very, very much from a character point of view and from getting in there and giving it their all. And when a team is doing that, you can't criticise, you know, you just let them get on with it. And I would always have a great trust in their ability to keep going and fight it out to the very, very end. And again, we had to do that in a big way to win the All-Ireland final this year.
Your career is characterised by lots of highs and wins and so forth. Where would you say you'd hit a low, where you weren't happy? Yeah,
I mean, that's probably forgotten about, I suppose, really, from my point of view as manager of the team. We have had, obviously, some great times. But, you know, my first All-Ireland final in 1999 against Cork, you know, we were in a healthy position with maybe 16 minutes to go. We were 4 points ahead. And we ended up losing that game, and it was a tough place to be. And again in 2001, we were blown away literally in an All-Ireland semi-final. And again in 2005, we lost what was a great game to Galway.
How do you get over that, game. Like personally? Where, do you go for a walk? Do you talk to the missus? Like, how do you...
Well, it's sport, you know, and I've been involved in sport all my life. And, you know, I would always... Everybody in sport will feel that you're going to lose more often than you'll win over your career.
Yes.
And certainly, I mean, that has happened to me from the time I started playing right up to now. Now, it's been a great run as manager, definitely. But I mean, we're all into the realities of it. And I realise for certain, every day you go out, it's up for grabs. And you appreciate very, very much when it goes right for you. But when it doesn't go right for you, you're down and you're disappointed. But I mean, life goes on, you know, and you always look ahead.
Who's your go-to person where you go, listen, I need a quick chat with you about the world and my head? Or who's your counsellor and in chief?
Well, to be honest, I mean, in those situations, like when you're talking about All-Ireland semi-finals, finals, your year is over, it's done, and then you kind of have to look at every aspect of what has happened, and you're wondering then, do you go ahead and stay in the job? And I mean, I've been in that situation, and to be honest about it, I don't seek counsel from very, very many people, and I suppose the only person I would have spoken about really was Elsie, my wife.
Yes, and Elsie, who I met earlier. Elsie's here, isn't she?
She's over there.
Elsie, raise your hand and let's have a look at you. Elsie, welcome. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Does Brian bring his work home with him, or is he very much leaves it behind on the pitch?
He generally leaves it on the pitch. The kind of household we have is it would be talked about all right, but he would mostly leave it behind him.
Did you ever play yourself by any chance?
I played a bit all right. I played at Wexford.
Played for Wexford?
Yeah.
Now tell me about the dinner table now on occasions. Are you still loyal to Wexford, by the way?
I would be loyal to Wexford, but because of Brian's involvement and the two lads' involvement playing club and county as well, I would have found it hard to shout against them or to be
I'd say
supporting
you have to
them.
watch your work. And Diarmuid's with you as well tonight, is he?
Diarmuid's not here tonight.
He's not here. And where's Donncha tonight?
Well, Donncha has a match on Sunday, so he decided he better stay at home.
Oh, that must make you happy, does it?
It's a big game, you know. Our club at home is playing the county semi-final on Sunday, and Donncha's been out injured all the year, so he's just back playing the last few weeks. So, and he's working away at the moment as well, so he's just going to make it home, and he needs a bit of rest for Sunday.
You mentioned the media earlier on, and as did the previous guest on the programme. What's your take on the media and pundits? You know, hurlers on the ditch, if you like. What do you make of them? First of all, I think the media has a huge role to play in getting our game out there, like, and in the publicity for our game. It's a huge role to play, and it's a very, very important aspect of the whole thing. And I mean, as regards pundits and the Sunday game and the programmes like that, they all put the game out there, and it's a very, very important part of it. And I, generally speaking, get on very, very well with the media. Yeah, generally speaking. Have a look at this.
Was it a penalty, Brian, do you think?
I have no idea, Marty. Did you check all the other phrases as well to see where they dodge also? Maybe you should. Maybe you should.
In terms of the referee, were you pleased overall? I'm sure you are now, considering you've won the All-Ireland, but did you think he allowed a lot to go?
Oh, Marty, please give me a break. With a referee, we're supposed to say nothing about referees. I make a habit of saying absolutely nothing about referees. You seem to have had a problem with him. You tell me.
No, I had no problem with him, but it's obviously a point of debate after the game. In terms of
I can't understand, Marty, how this discussion with me is turning into a debate about a referee. You started off about the 4 in a row. Now you want to talk about a referee. It sounds a bit silly.
Yeah, Brian Cody interviewed there by Marty Morrissey. Don't know if will Marty be buying the book after that, but anyway.
We'll get a free one.
Will somebody please pick up Marty off the floor there?
Yeah. Somebody had to pick Marty up off the floor after that. Yeah, that's Jerry Loughnane. You know, in 2007, there was a sense that, you know, I think it was at that time that Jerry Loughnane was saying that the use of the hurl with Kilkenny players was questionable, I think was the word. And then there was a feeling perhaps that Kilkenny were playing a peculiar type of game. That was the sense coming from media analysis going into the final this year. Do you read that? Do you care about it? Does it bother you?
To be honest, coming up to big games, we wouldn't tend to read much about it at all, and the players keep away from that as well. Generally speaking, what people will say don't bother me at all, because I mean, they're entitled to their opinion, and I just stay focused on what I do. But I mean, the reality of it is, there was stuff being said about us throughout the year, and in particular about some of our players, as the way they put it is playing on the edge, and you know, that became a bit of a rant, I suppose, really. And the week before the game,
were they playing on the edge?
I hope so. Yeah. Because the edge is the place to play, you know, but within the rules and within the spirit of the game. And you know, our players, the edge, to be successful, you know this yourself in your profession, Ryan. You live on the edge, and I mean, you can ask the tough questions when you have to ask them as well. So I mean, you know, you play on the edge, and on the edge means you're on top of your game, and you're there, and you push everything. You push the boundaries as far as is humanly possible, but always within the rules and within the spirit of the game.
Do you think the media have you wrong? Because I was kind of nervous meeting you this evening.
I doubt that very much.
I thought that you have the impression I got from watching you from afar was that you're quite austere and that you were pretty much, you know, the boss. But actually, you're a teddy bear.
You're spot on there, Ryan. Absolutely, yeah.
Am I right? Am I right? I thought so. I mean, that's just my brief analysis of the situation.
Yeah, I mean, the media portray whatever they portray, you know, and I've been portrayed as being ruthless in different times and everything else, and you know, that doesn't matter what they say, you know. But I mean, in general terms, I mean, I obviously worked on my book with one of the top media journalists in the country, possibly the top one, I suppose, Martin Brahaney. So I mean, I have a great relationship with most of the media. But you know, it's like everything else. You know, we've been successful for very successful this decade. Like you said, we won 4 in a row, 7 in this decade, and that eventually irritates everybody. And that's the way it works.
You think success irritates people?
If you stay around long enough, you know, and I mean, sport is something that's there for everybody, and you know, it's a terrific thing for a county to have that success. And I mean, we've been labelled, I suppose, as being a bit boring now, even because we're there so long. Yeah. And that's the reality of it, and that's not surprising, and it's not exceptional, and it happens like that.
Okay, it's Gold Jersey Day. You want to mention that because here you have very kindly given us. Actually, this isn't my one now. This is your one. You brought it in. What is this? Tell us why you brought that in.
Well, it's a signed Kilkenny jersey, and today is Gold Jersey Day, where, you know, companies all over the country have been wearing their jerseys to support goal, and I think last year